Hello and welcome to Computer Class Online. I'm David Wright, and today we're talking about using Gmail. What I'm going to do starting out is link a video down in the description that you can watch, and it's going to introduce Gmail. And so after you've watched that video, come right back here and continue on the tutorial with me on how to use your inbox effectively. So now that you're back, we're going to talk about the interface of Gmail, starting with this sidebar over here. And you can see there's a lot here actually just to cover the sidebar. The first thing is there's this hamburger menu that cranks back and forth. If you just click on it, kind of expands it one way or the other. Um, there's also the compose button. That's how you create a new email. And in creating a new email, you've got CC and BCC. So you can add people kind of in a BCC or blind carbon copy or carbon copy there on that email. You can also attach a file at the bottom. If you click that, you could just grab maybe a picture. Let's just say I wanted to grab my Guardian Bravo and pull it in there. And you could add a link, an emoji, something from Drive, a picture. Um, you could turn it on confidential mode. You can insert a signature, and there's a lot of other default things here. But that's basically sending an email. That's at the top here. Compose an email. The second thing is starred, and that would be if I clicked on an email here. I sent myself an email, so I'd have at least one email. But if I click on starred, then in the starred email inbox, if I just click there, now you can see these are the most important maybe emails. There's a lot of ways to actually designate an email as important. So that's one of the many ways that you can do it. You can also turn on a feature I'm going to show you in a second that allows it in settings that allows you to check emails as important. You can see snoozed emails because you could right click on an email and snooze it. Maybe you've added as a task that has to be done by a specific time frame, and as a result, it's constantly. By the way, that's how you get the menu bar to show up there by checking an email. But maybe you've snoozed an email, it will show up in there for later. You can see what you've sent. You can see ones that you've drafted or started. For instance, I started this draft email, but I didn't finish it, so I'm going to delete that. Then when you hit the more button, kind of this expands here, and you can kind of shrink or pull this up and down as you see fit. Maybe you're more of a chatter, so you want to pull it up. This is the chat window. Maybe you're not a chatter, so you want to pull this down. There is chats, important. If you want to drag an email in there, to important, you can drag it in there. Again, another place to kind of make something important. You can schedule an email, so you can see what's scheduled in there. The spam inbox might be helpful to erase all those every now and then. Trash if you accidentally deleted something, and then categories. So basically, if you twirl this down, there are certain categories that are there, and then you can create a new label or type of category, if that makes sense. Just click, and I already have one for videos, but let's just say I wanted to do one for computer class, right? And I could also nest this tag under a different tag if I wanted to. Press create, and it comes up here as a tag, and then, or more importantly, a category, a label. But I can click and change the color if I want to green, and then I could drag it onto an email if I wanted to. So now this email actually has two categories. And so I can then, it's obviously in these are like specific inboxes. So in order to get rid of this, I could select it and press delete, and that doesn't, that deletes it completely out of both the inbox and everything. So you got to be careful doing that. If I click here, I could right click and move back to the inbox on it if I wanted to restore that email. Okay, so that's important. I could also right click and archive an email. I can snooze it. I can add to tasks, which is interesting. So let me do that, add to tasks, and when I do, it comes up here on this other side panel showing that I have something to do when I'm done. I just mark as complete and it deletes out of the task window there. So that's kind of a neat feature. I can move it to one of these boxes that I have created and a lot more there, okay? Then there's managing the labels. Can also show or hide different inboxes here in the settings, and even delete different labels that you've created. Down below that we have, if I pull this up a little bit, we can start a meeting. So I click that. I could actually start one and create a Google Meet, maybe email out this link right here. My camera failed because I have it being used for my recording software right now. And then join a meeting. If I want to do that, you could click that and just input the code there and join what's called Google Meet. It used to be called Google Hangouts, but now it's called Google Meet. Hangouts is more diverted into this like chatting feature right here, to where if I click the plus button, I can find different people. And once I've found different people and they're in my chat window and I'm maybe typing back and forth with them, I could then group those people together in a group. So maybe have a group for, computer class, or maybe have a group for your workplace or whatever you do. So there's a group thing. You can also make phone calls from the Gmail account right here, chat conversations, and then you can find some contacts depending on which tab you're clicked on here at the bottom. Across the top, you can search for mail. You can search for people that you've sent to. So this one is test. If I just type the words test in there, you can see that it would find this email right here. And it's the only one in my inbox, so it's pretty easy to find. But you could search for mail. You could search for by subject. You can even do a detailed search if you pull down right here. Then going over here, there is different ways to view the inbox. And you can see how much of your data you're using with that. Turn those features off and on. You can pick a language, and there's more input tool settings. You could just pick a language and push it over here. That's some features there. And then we also have a gear icon, so click on that. And this shows you all the different settings that you can do. So you can set the density of the inbox to comfy, compact. You can pick a theme. You can have the different inbox types. Important first. You can have your important ones. If you click that on, all the ones that you've marked important will be first. Different ways to lay out your inbox, whatever you feel is your best thing. But hit see all settings to see all the settings. And these are the deep settings of the inbox. And if you scroll down, you can pick the fonts. You can do grammar suggestions on or off in case that annoys you. You can do different star settings. You can change, look into your picture. You can create a signature, which is super helpful, something that appears at the bottom of every single email. You can have a automatic responder, basically that responds, let's say you're off work for a week and you're on vacation, it could just respond to anyone that emails you automatically, say, hey, I'm on vacation. Here you can turn your labels on and off or create a new label, or you can remove a label. That's where you do it. In your inbox section, you can turn on, there's like tabs here, right here, social promotion and different things. Let me actually go back to where I was. And you can, in the inboxing here, you can turn it off, and other settings there to be able to split things, which again are literally right. Let me go back to inbox. Those settings are literally right here as options, but they're also here randomly. Into accounts, you can change the password. You can add another email address that you can, so it says use Gmail to send from your other email address. So you can send from your other email address through this email address. That's pretty cool. You can allow mail, check mail from other accounts. So you could add an account whereby you could check your mail from. You can grant access to somebody, like let's say you had an executive assistant, you could stick them in here, which is pretty cool. You can set up filters that block certain things and or filter different emails into specific inboxes that you've created via your tags and things. You can forward different things from your email address to another email address. You can, there's some add-ons here. If you click the manage install right there, you can, here's like most popular, for instance. There's lots of add-ons you can add to your email inbox that are special tools that can make using email easier. So there's a lot of different tools you can download there from different creators. You can, there's settings here for turning Hangouts on or off, which is down here. This is Hangouts, or Meet on and off. And then some advanced settings, some offline settings. You can enable offline mail, which is interesting. And then themes. And if you click this, you could set like a theme if you want to, which is interesting. Or you can pick a photo from My Photos, which I'm going to do right now. By the way, Photos is Google Photos. So you would actually have to upload something to Google Photos, which I believe you have to search for Google Photos. And there we go. And you could get Google Photos or go to Google Photos. And then you can see right here is all the stuff I've uploaded to Google Photos throughout the different weeks and months. Okay, so whatever's in there, you then have the opportunity to pick from as a background. Notice I have this opportunity to pick this as a background, and I'm going to select it. And when I hit save, it should, there we go, change that to the background of my inbox, which is kind of cool. You can set anything, or you can pick from these selected themes. You can put text in the background, and you can also do a vignette, or you can blur the background. Either of those things is an option. So there you have it. There's lots of things you can do from Gmail. Of course, oh, I missed one thing. Down the side, you can add stuff to your calendar here. You can add stuff to your task list. You can add stuff to Google Keep, and you can get add-ons there. Okay, all those things are stuff you can do in Gmail. There's a lot here. It's a great program, great little thing. There you go. I got an email. I can categorize it. Bam. Anyway, hopefully you learned something today, and I will see you in the next video.